I made the cutest little clown calavera, and here's how I did it. First, you make the structure. Most of the time I use foil. You could use newspaper, paper towels, anything really that's nice and bulky, because you're gonna tape it all down anyways, like I'm doing here. For the cute little clown party hat, I got like a real party hat and cut it to size. Hot glue and tape will be your best friends while you're building a paper mache build, but be so careful when you use hot glue, and I will tell you why in this next clip. Honestly, a moment of silence for this next clip. That hurts so bad. Here is a trigger warning for the next slide. Is a picture of the damage. Nasty. So yeah, please do not wear shorts when you're doing paper mache or using hot glue, because you will scar. I have a scar from when I was 9 years old, maybe 8 years old, still on my legs. So will she ever learn? Who knows? Here I am trying to, so I want this thing to hang, so I'm trying to figure out how to attach the wire, and wrapping it didn't work, but sticking it through and then securing it with tape and hot glue. Again, I hope I changed into pants here, and then putting the little hat topper at the top of the wire and then curling the wire down. That was the way to do it. It took me a while to figure that out, but alas, we arrived at the conclusion. So you just tape everything down nice and tight, and this is gonna help ensure that when the paper mache goes on top, it's nice and smooth and doesn't have a lot of wrinkles and bumps and hiccups. I made this guy while I was watching the World Cup. Viva Mexico, that was really sad, but I'm not gonna say who I'm going for now because it's pretty heated. For the clown collar, I just got a piece of foil and folded it like a fan back and forth. Hi Lupe, it's my Chihuahua Lupe. She is the best girl. Not a fan of the clown though. She's a little scared of it. I had to cut it to size, the clown collar, and then I made my own paper mache clay, and it was super easy. It was the first time I did it. When you're making your own paper clay, trust the process. That is the mantra of how to do it. So it was shredded paper, water. I used cold. Hot would have been better just to soak it and really break it all down. And then when you're mixing, that's really when you have to trust. And then I read online to prevent mold, put salt. So I'm going to do it just in case. I don't know. Little ASMR magic for ya. Nice and juicy. I didn't have a paper shredder. Please get one. I got mad carpal tunnel shredding all my paper by hand. This is when you, like I said, trust the process, because you're like, how is this gonna turn into the clay that I need? It's just like lumpy and dry. It was actually kind of moist, but it looks dry. Oh, how cute. I thought that was all the glue I was gonna need. Little did she know. You just want to beat it all up, pretend you're mad at your high school bully, really get in there. Online, recipes say to use just white glue. I use school glue. I'm not sure why you can't use school glue. I think because it's probably diluted and not as sticky, but I used it and it was fine. That's kind of the consistency you want when you can form it into a ball or like shapes. It's kind of like dough. And I didn't do a close-up, but you can see in that pink tub there, that's joint compound. That really helped make it stick. I didn't want to go and buy new materials. I tried to use what I had, but I actually had a failed previous paper mache project that called for that. So I already had it. It was like $10 at Lowe's or Home Depot. So satisfying. Finally putting it on. I could not believe that I made clay. Like, I made that with my own hands. You are going to want to paint with water, like to really just smooth it out, because it can leave, paper mache clay can leave holes or just bumpy. And finally, I was so happy. This was a few days work, and to get to paint finally is like breath of fresh air. I paint the whole thing white, so I prime it first, paint it all white. I hung it up, so I really made sure I got every nook and cranny. I painted white underneath to act as like a second primer, and it just makes all the colors pop rather than that drab gray beneath. Here again, you gotta trust the process because it's looking a little creepy right now. In the background there, I'm building another big one so you can see the foil sculpture. Yeah, for my painting, I need a few touch-ups usually, but you know what? We persist, we get her done. You're gonna see those red cheekbones. It actually ended up clashing with the cute pastel yellow and blue. So I'm gonna change that in the end. Right here you can see to a pink, a cute little pink, and that worked so much better. Finally, I glossed her all down, and voila, this was maybe like a week in between work and after work and hanging out, and there she is, the final product. I'm so happy with it came out. Please try it on your own and let me know in the comments how it goes. And happy freaking crafting.